It's Friday night and those temperatures outside have really dropped. I've just put the gas fire on. I only put it on really low though, and that is plenty to keep this room, even though it is open plan right through the kitchen, very warm. We don't need it any higher than that. So that's using minimum energy just to keep you nice and warm. But I have purchased something else and they arrived this morning. So I'll let you have a look at what I've bought and why it's going to help us through winter for very little cost. I bought some of these. They're tubular heaters. You basically just screw them to your wall. They come with brackets as well, so you can put them wherever you want. And the 2-foot ones, these. But the great thing about them is they're only 80 watts. And I've bought 3 of them because I got them at a really good price. For 3 of these heaters, it cost me £65, and that included postage. I got them off at eBay, and I'll just have a quick look at the name of the place that I got them from, just in case you want to get one yourself. So I've just looked those up, and they also come in lots and lots of different sizes as well, and different wattage. You can get a 1-foot, it's only 45 watts. These are the 2-foot ones at 80 watts. There's also an 135 watt at 4 feet, and there's an 180 watt at 5 feet, and then the biggest one, which is 270 watts, and that's a 6-foot one. So depending on your personal needs, you've got a really good variety there, and of course they all differ in price. I'll just quickly look at the price of these. So the ones I bought were £21.89 each, and if you go to the highest one that you can get, that's the 6-foot one, they're £76. But obviously they're going to get warmer. So I was quite happy with what I've got. Because I bought 3, I got 10% discount. So I got a little bit knocked off for that, which is always good. And I've bought them for a particular reason. Because I've done research on these particular heaters, and apparently they only run at 1p an hour. So they're perfect. These 2-foot ones that we've got aren't going to heat up a room like this. Not to any extent. But for small rooms or cupboards, conservatories, things like that, they're perfectly fine. I've already fitted one and tested it out, and I'll show you where I've put it, and then I'll show you where I'm going to put the other 2. So this is the one that I've just fitted, and as you can see they come with those brackets, so it secures it to the wall, and they don't look too bad, to be fair. We were just lucky that we've got a socket just above as well. I'm also going to be putting one in this hallway since they're so cheap to run. And I'm putting one in the toilet as well, because there's not a lot of space in here for a panel heater, but there's plenty of room for one of those. So as I said, I bought these, but not with the expectations of it heating up a room like a firewood. It's going to take the edge off. It's going to keep it aired out, but more importantly, it's going to help prevent condensation. And we know that we can just leave the wardrobe doors open where we got all this clothes stored, which is the room where you've just seen that one I've already fitted. So it can circulate warmth around those clothes, and then they're not going to go mouldy. But for the price I paid for these and the running costs, I thought they were a really good thing. There is one thing, however, that is worth mentioning. I think they actually state it on the advert, but just in case they don't. I'll just open this up and let you have a look. That's the brackets that you get with it. But when you first unpack these and take them out, you'll notice that they don't come with a plug fitted, which to me is not a problem, because in certain areas of this van I'm going to have to extend this cable, and I've seen some things at Screwfix that I can use which are going to be perfect, really secure, really safe. So I can extend this cable to the nearest socket, or I can drill through the floor across to where the socket is and then back up, and it'll do the job. So that's the plan for those. And it's not going to cost anything to run, as I've already said, but it's going to keep all those rooms nice and warm through winter. We're using the panel heaters on timers for the bigger rooms like the bedrooms and the living room, which I'm in right now. And then of course, mainly we've got that gas fire. So the panel heaters are there just to take the edge off on really cold mornings, and that's why we've got ones with 24-hour timers. So we can set those to come on around an hour before we get up, and all's good. So they're not going to cost a lot to run. These tubular heaters obviously aren't going to cost much to run, and we've put the fire on really low. And we've done that for the last few days when it's dropped cold. And we have noticed that at some point during night, we just turn it off a little bit because it gets a little bit too warm for us. Some people like it a lot warmer. So I think those were a really good buy. So I've tested one, and one thing that's definitely worth mentioning is I fixed that to the wall, and then I turned it on, and then I closed the door and I left it. And I left it for around an hour. And when I walked back into that room, you could tell the difference in temperature. That cold air had disappeared. And it wasn't hot, in your face hot, but it had a warm edge to it, which is all we're looking for. But just be aware that these things get a lot hotter than I thought. And I mean to the touch. Once it'd been on for an hour, I just tapped it with my hand, and it was really hot. If I'd have kept my hand on it, it probably would have burnt. But this company also sells guards, which is especially important if you've got pets or children. So once you've set them up and you've fitted your guards, you're all good to go. And I plan on just leaving it on all through night when it's really cold. Not at the moment. We're just going to do little spurts of warmth from it through the days as these temperatures are dropping. Again, to take that edge off and combat condensation, which we know is going to get worse at some point. But with the help of these, we might be alright. But I think for the price that we paid for them, and the fact that they're really easy to fit, it's got to be worth buying something like that for the smaller places in this caravan, so we can make it as comfortable as possible all the way through, while using the smallest amount of energy that we can. I will be doing an update on these as well later on, when we've used them for a few days, because the heaters that I bought are basically all the same size. And because that toilet area is the smallest room in this caravan, I would think that's going to get quite a bit warmer. And then there's the hallway. And I don't think there's anything better than coming from outside on a really cold winter's day and feeling that rush of warm air as you walk into your van, and not having to rush to put the fire on to get yourself warm. That's the whole point of us getting them. So anyway, we'll see how they go, and I will keep you updated on everything. So now you know that you can get safety guards for those heaters as well, and that's from the same place. And the company is called Thompson Electrical Wholesale, and they're on eBay if you want to take a look at those. And I'm also now considering, because it's winter, getting a bit of security as well. And by that I mean maybe CCTV and an alarm for Caravan. Because as with a lot of people on this site, they're not going to be here all the way through winter. And I did make a previous video about looking after a friend of mine's caravan while he's on a cruise, which you've probably already seen. And the only reason I said that it's good to have people watching your van while you're away is not because of people on this site, because we all get on and everybody's really friendly and concerned about other people's property, which is exactly how it should be. But because we have got a public footpath that goes right through this site, so people are allowed to use it. And you never know who's wandering to site or at what time of day or night. So I'm thinking about maybe getting some CCTV and maybe some alarms for doors and windows. I'll look into that, I'll see how much they cost, and then if I do decide to get those, then we'll do a review on those as well. But at the moment, I am very surprised at just how hot those little heaters get, even in that room that we've fitted it in, which is basically a small bedroom. And if you are interested in seeing what else we do to update this caravan between now and winter, then please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I shall see you on the next one. Enjoy Halloween and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care.